All right. So we will be working. I have given you the house price prediction. That is one of the popular thing competitions in Kaggle. Import pandas as PD. Import NumPy as NP. Import matplotlib dot pyplot as PLT and the percentage matplotlib inline. Import IO percentage CD quotes. I will set my data dictionary hackathon house price prediction, get info, the folder path, house price prediction. Okay, I have set up my path. Now house train is equal to pd dot read underscore csv open bracket train dot csv. House test is equal to pd dot read underscore csv test dot csv. Right, we have imported the train data sets and test data sets. Let us check the shape. Print house train dot shape print house test dot shape. So we have 1416 rows in our train data, 1459 rows in our test data, 80 variables in train, which includes the dependent variable, 81 variables in train, which includes dependent variable, 80 variables in train test, which does not include the dependent variable. Now the challenge here is imputation of missing values. That is the biggest challenge in this data. So let us add the dependent variable column. We will add the dependent variable column to test data for concatenation. For concatenation purpose, we will add the, so house test square bracket single quote sale price S capital P capital without any space, we will fill it with the word test. Okay. Now we will combine the data. We will combine data for pre-processing. We will combine the data for pre-processing. Combine df is equal to pd dot concat open bracket square bracket first paste all the rows of train data comma house test paste all the rows of test data comma axis is equal to 0. So axis is equal to 0 is what? Row wise concatenation. Across Python, axis is equal to 0 means rows, axis is equal to 1 means columns. So that you remember. So we have concatenated the data row wise. Now for pre-processing, it's always better. Let us see the D types first. Combine df dot D types, data types. And you can see there are the three data types, int64, float64 and object. All three data types are there. Int64, float64 and object. The typical three data types you see in Python are there. Now we will split the data into object data and numeric data. We will split data into numeric variables and object variables because the missing value treatment is different for both the types of data. Okay. So object calls is equal to combine df dot select underscore D types include is equal to square bracket single quote object include is equal to square bracket single quote object. Numeric calls is equal to combine df dot select underscore d types include is equal to np dot number. Now np dot number will take both the int64 and float64 columns. So that is the advantage. Now let us print the shape. Whenever you are doing any major change to your data, it's always better to do the shape checking such that there is no discrepancies in your data. So what is the total number of columns should we have? We should have 81 columns. 44 are your object columns, 37 are your numeric columns. So total is 81 columns. We have done till this point. Now we will check the missing values in each of these columns. Now we have to check the missing values. Check missing values in object calls or object variables. Check missing values in object variables. Object calls dot is null dot sum dot sort underscore values ascending is equal to false. Now you can see the missing values in object columns. Now we have seen some extreme missing values: pool quality, miscellaneous feature, alley, fence and fireplace quality. These are what you say more than 70% except the fireplace quality, rest of all are above 70%. Now you need to think, does every house has a swimming pool? No, right? So it might be not relevant to that particular house. Does every house has a miscellaneous feature? Miscellaneous feature means burglar alarms, miscellaneous features like what you call ovens in the kitchen, baking ovens in the kitchen. So not every house will have a miscellaneous feature, right? Or what you call miscellaneous features like sensor based lighting. Not every house will have miscellaneous features. So that means miscellaneous feature might not be applicable to that particular row. Similarly, alley access means back access. In US, you have to be there is no, like in our house, they can't build fences. If you want to build a fence in US, you have to pay extra tax. The house has to be open and the alleys and everything is equally accessible to everybody. Now every house will have a backward alley access? Not necessary. Not necessary, every house will have a alley access. Similarly, fence. Like I told you, if you want to put a fence around your house in US, you have to pay additional tax. Otherwise, if you see in the movies, the houses are very near to one another. There is no walls or nothing separating the house. So each house will not have a fence. Each house will not have fireplace. You know fireplaces, right? In movie that brick one where they put gas or wood to burn. Not every house will have a fireplace quality. So what we can do is, like I told you earlier also, if there is too many missing values and if that feature is not available for that particular row or column, then we will fill it with missing or not applicable or not available. Anything a word we have to fill it. You have to just fill that word. You can't drop it. See, if a house has a swimming pool, will the price be affected? Then how will you drop it? If a house has a miscellaneous feature like burglar alarm, sensor based lighting, it has centralized air conditioning, will it not affect the price house? It is. So you can't drop these columns. See, dropping the column is an extreme step. In very, very rare cases we drop the column. Otherwise, we have to use that column even though it is not having any values. So we will fill these 5 columns with the value called not available, or you can use missing or not relevant, something you can use like that word. But think that whether the reason for missing here, what is the reason for missing? those features might not be available. The reason for missing values in the column called fence, alley, pool QC, missed feature, comma, what is the other one? Fireplace Q. Fireplace quality, place Q capital, fireplace Q, is because all houses will not have these features. So we can replace them with a separate column called not available. The feature is not available in that particular house. So first create the calls. None calls is equal to square bracket, single quote, fence, comma, single quote, alley, comma, single quote, pool QC. Make sure the names exactly match. Pool QC, C capital, missed feature, comma, single quote, fireplace Q. These are the columns where we will fill with the word not available. Okay, so we can write a simple for loop for this. For call in none calls, object calls, square bracket call is equal to object calls, square bracket call dot fill NA, open bracket, single quote, not available. The feature is not available. Or you can use anything, unknown, missing, whatever you want, you can use the word, but fill it with a word not available. So a for loop, for call means it's the iterator. First you are defining the iterator, call in none calls. That means it will iterate 5 times. In each iteration it will fill with the word. Wherever it sees the missing word NA, it will fill it with the word not available. You will get a warning because you are making a major change to the data, so need not worry. I will go to the top and run the object calls again. Now you can see all the object calls have been vanished. Sorry, that 5-6 columns have been imputed. Now we have successfully imputed those columns. Now let us go to the second set of columns. Garage condition, garage quality, garage finish and garage type. So here also we can assume, because they are all same, you can assume whether the garage might not be. There are 2 assumptions you can make here. The house might not have the garage, or the house has the garage but the details are not details are not filled. So you have 2 assumptions to make. Either the house does not have a garage, or the house has the garage but the details of the garages are not filled. But typically our assumption is every house in US will have a garage. So we will not go with the option of not having the garage. So we assume that every house in the US has garage. Second, what is the size of the missing value? 159. The size of the missing values is 159. So 159 divided by 2919. What is the amount of missing values? Around 5%. Very minimal. 5% is the missing value. When you have such a small missing values, you can outrightly go and implement the mode implementation or most frequent implementation. If there is what you call larger number of missing values, that means more than 10% missing values are there, then you can check and do it. But this is a very small, you can implement using most frequent. Most frequent can be implemented on this data. Now this is your what you call the missing values in garages. Okay. Similarly, what is the missing values in basements? BSMT means basements. Now, in typical US, every house will have a basement. Every house in US must also have a basement. So, we can assume two things, same like things. There might be basement, but the details of the basement are not filled. So, what is the amount of missing values you have? Again, 82 or 89? 82. 82 divided by 2919. What is the range of missing values? Or even less, hardly 3%. Right? That means we can go with more imputations. And rest of all are small, right? 24, 79, 24, 4, 2, 2 and 1, 1. These are very simple values. You can fill it with missing values. Right? You can fill it manually. There are two methods of missing value filling here. You can do it manually, or a new thing has thing in Python called simple imputer. You have a new thing in Python called simple imputer. Simple imputer will impute based on the missing value strategies. Now, you can give strategy as mean and median for numeric data. Strategy is equal to most frequent. Strategy is equal to most frequent for the string or object data. Okay. So, a simple imputer has been defined in Python, where you just need to give the strategy based on whether you are doing a numeric missing value or a non-numeric missing value, and you can implement it. That is one method of doing the implementation, which is very simple to implement. Or else you can implement using your for loop, giving the column names and all, and then manually doing it. For imputing using column names, like how I created a none calls list, first you have to create a list, or you can simply fill an A with the complete data also, because we are using the same thing, right? You can simply fill an A without imputer also. Without imputer also, you can fill an A. Let us say you want to do the manual version, or you want to do the simple imputer version. Simple imputer version. So, from sklearn dot impute import simple imputer. sklearn dot import simple imputer. Object is equal to simple imputer. Strategy is equal to most underscore frequent. The strategy is equal to most underscore frequent. The name is very important here. I think it is most underscore frequent. Most underscore frequent. So, most underscore frequent is the we are defining, right? We have defined our imputer. Okay. Now, object calls impute is equal to obj impute dot fit underscore transform object calls. Object calls dot fit underscore transform. Fit will fit the function, transform will transform the data. So, we have run this simple imputer, and I will go and run the top command again. Now, there should not be any missing values. Oh, what happened? Oh, I named it as object calls imp, right? Impute. I have named it as object calls impute. So, it has converted into a numpy array. So, it has imputed all the missing values. Okay. But still, if you want to check pd dot data frame object calls impute dot is null dot sum dot sort underscore values ascending is equal to false. See, there are no missing values in the data frame. 0. The missing values are 0. right? Now, once you have done, it is better to convert it into a data frame. It is always better to convert the array into data frame, such that we will not have any problem when you are concatenating back and all this stuff. So, once you have done this, once you have checked that the missing values are not there in your data, let us convert our data frame back. Because see, I told you in the initially, whenever you do any operation on data in Python, the output will be a array. The output will be a NumPy array. And your data frame functions like head, tail, summary, describe and all will not work on arrays. Like isNull. It says isNull is not a function for NumPy array. IsNull is not a function for NumPy array. So you can't use the pandas functions on NumPy array. So, but we are very familiar with pandas function. Once you have completed the imputation process, convert the NumPy array into a data frame. That way you can use your pandas data frame, because very time I have seen people remembering NumPy functions very rarely. It's always that we always remember the pandas functions because we frequently use them. Now I will convert this into a data frame. So object calls impute or object calls impdf is equal to pd.dataframe. Object calls impute, comma, columns is equal to object calls dot columns, because sometimes in NumPy arrays column names will not be there. Sometimes in NumPy arrays column names will not be there. They will be stored as a separate array. But to be on safer side, we will also use columns is equal to object columns dot columns. Now let us see what are our object calls. Object calls impdf dot head. See, so we have all the data as text, and most of the things it has filled with the most frequent, and we got the values back to a data frame. We got the values back as a data frame. Simple imputer. Very easy one for applying in data science. Simple imputer. Okay. Now we have imputed the data, what you call variables, in object calls. Object calls we have done the imputation. Now we will go to the numeric calls. Numeric calls dot isNull dot sum dot sort underscore values ascending is equal to false. So compared to your previous one, numeric columns have lesser number of missing values. Lesser number of missing values. Okay, so we can see here lot frontage, garage here, built, mass VNR area, base empty, half bath, full bath and all are there. So we can impute with median. Median imputation is a safer imputation because if any of these values does not have a decimal, suppose if any of them does not have a decimal and you impute it with a decimal, later you might get a problem saying mixed data types, because int 64 and float 64 are two data types. To avoid this situation, median is a safest strategy, because median will always impute a whole number. Median will always impute a whole number. So we can impute, these are very small values, 486 by 2919, it will be somewhere around 8% or 6%, less than 10% only. So we can impute them with missing values. With median, or if you want to say lot frontage, what is the variable lot frontage actually is telling us? Lot frontage, what is that variable? Linear feet of the street connected to property. It's a numeric variable. It's a numeric variable. We can use. Now garage year built is the problem. Garage year built is years. Can we treat years as numerical things? Can we treat years as numericals? No, years cannot be treated as numericals. So, if we take the median of the years, that will give you some sort of thing, right? Technically, we should not do it, but it will give a middle of something as a year, and then we can use it because it's very small number of missing values. We can fill it with anything. So, we can fill it with some year, or you can use it as a most frequent year. And if it is most frequent year, it will also be definitely the median of the data frame also, most of the time. So, we can use median in this case also. So, let us do a simple imputer for filling missing values in the numeric data. So, I will write it as num_imp is equal to simple imputer strategy is equal to median. Num_imp is equal to strategy is equal to median. Numeric calls impute is equal to num_imp dot fit underscore transform numeric calls. We have imputed the numeric calls. So, let us say numeric calls df is equal to pd dot data frame numeric calls impute dot comma columns is equal to numeric calls dot columns. So, we have got the data imputed. You want to check, you can also check the numeric calls df is dot num, I think here only numeric calls df. There are no missing values in our data. No missing values in our data. Okay. So, simplest thing you have to understand is simple imputers, mean and median or most frequent, which is easy to implement, which is very easy to implement. Now, what is the next process we have to do? Pardon? So, we have to find first of all categorical columns from numeric columns. That is the first thing we have to do. Numeric calls, sorry. Numeric calls df dot columns. So, we have these variable columns. We have to identify categorical columns from these numeric columns. Categorical columns from these numeric columns. What are the categorical columns? I think overall quality. Quality is in a scale 1 to 9. Overall condition, year built, year remodeled. Year built and year remodeled, they are all treated as a categorical variables. Control they copy them. Cat calls is equal to numeric calls df double square bracket control v. So, overall call, overall condition, year remodeled, we have to find them as non-numeric, and then yes, manual inspection is always better. You can write a for loop for doing that outputs and doing it. We can do that, or you can use pandas profiling. But rather than that, manual inspection is a better option. Because by now you understand the data, right? By now you will have an understanding of the data. You can easily identify those columns. So, what is the other? Garage year built is a categorical variable. Garage year built, control C, control V, comma, then month sold and year sold. Month sold and year sold. Right? These are the categorical columns. These are the categorical columns. Overall quality, overall condition, year built, year remodeled, garage year built, month sold, year sold. So we have separated them from numeric columns. Immediately drop them from numeric calls df. Numeric calls df is equal to numeric calls df dot drop open bracket from single square bracket to single square bracket. Copy the names, Control C, Control V, comma, axis is equal to 1. Okay. Now print the shape. Print object calls imp df dot shape. Print numeric calls df dot shape. Print cat calls dot shape. So 40 plus 30 plus 7. 44 plus 30 plus 7, you have 81 columns. Our 81 columns are intact. Our 81 columns are intact. Now what we have to do? We have to encode. We have to encode the what we call the category calls as well as the object calls. So what we will do is we will use one hot encoder, because we have been regularly using get dummies, right? We can use get dummies or we can use one hot encoder. Let us use one hot encoder. From sklearn dot preprocessing import one hot encoder. One hot encoder. OH is equal to one hot encoder, null brackets. Object calls imp df dummy is equal to object calls imp df dot apply oh dot fit underscore transform. Oh, got an error. So what is the error? It says, okay, so we have to give it the other way around. So oh dot fit underscore transform in bracket object calls imp df. Oh, still it is giving an error. Encoders require their input to be uniformly strings or number. Got integer and string. Why it is saying string and number? So all the object calls are object only. So there is nothing here. So one hot encoder is causing problem. So we'll go back to our get dummies only. Object calls imp df is equal to pd dot get dummies object calls imp df. Okay. So let's look at the shape. Object calls imp df dot shape. So it has gone to 921 variables. This is the problem with the data, because this is a very large data, right? So this is a very large data. So already it has created 921 columns. So this is a problem. So what we will do is we will go back to our label encoder. Label encoder looks to be the safest option in this case. So since we got it, from sklearn dot preprocessing import label encoder. LE is equal to label encoder. Object calls imp df dummy is equal to object calls imp df dot apply LE dot fit underscore transform. it has converted the data into dummy variable data. See, it has converted everything to numerical numbers, assigning 0 to n levels. Okay. Similarly, we also need to do cat calls dummy is equal to cat calls dot apply le dot fit underscore transform. Now, I get this question, why can't you use le dot fit underscore transform in bracket cat calls? You can use like that also. You can also use le dot fit underscore transform in bracket cat calls, but it will convert the data into NumPy array. It will convert the data into NumPy array. But if you dot apply the function on a pandas data frame, it will be pandas data frame only. This is a common interview question you will be facing. Why do you apply le dot fit underscore transform? Because we want to retain the pandas data frame structure. If you use le dot fit underscore transform and in the brackets data frame, it will convert it into NumPy array. But if you apply a function dot apply, we use a pandas function which will apply the le dot fit underscore transform as a function on the data frame, and the data frame structure will be retained. The data frame structure will be retained. That is the biggest advantage of dot apply. So, if you don't want to hamper your structure, because we have to do concatenation, right? Our data is split into 3 different data frames: numeric, object and cat calls. We have to combine them back into one shape. Now, merging NumPy arrays can be done. You can merge NumPy arrays, but you have to write a for loop, you have to write the columns, then you have to give whether it is an inner merge or outer merge, left join, and all those things have to be given. Instead of that, pd.concat, you have to give only one argument, which is access is equal to 1. So, retaining the data frame structure will help you to easily concat the data frame into back to normal structure. Alright. Now, let us bring the data frame back. Bring data frame back to normal structure. Okay. Now, combine df clean is equal to pd.concat open bracket square bracket numeric calls df comma object calls imp df dummy comma cat calls dummy comma axis is equal to 1. We have got the data frame back to normal shape. We have got the data frame back to normal shape. Now what we have to do? We will split data back to train and test data. We have to split the data back to train and test data. House train df is equal to combine df clean square bracket combine df clean dot sale price. Oh, where is it? Sale price. Oh, I think we have made a mistake here. Shit. In object calls, we have also sale price also has been overwritten, right? So in object calls we have sale price, that is to be numerical. So one small thing, after numerical columns we have to attach them to one second. So let's split the data again. Print shape, null values, then we done the simple imputer, imp df, this, Okay, the numeric calls df, and then cat calls and numeric calls. So what we will do is we will add a cell here. Numeric calls df square bracket single quote sale price is equal to object calls impute, right? Object calls imp df. Object calls imp df dot sale price. Right? We have added it to our numeric columns. Similarly, we have to delete it from object columns. Object calls imp df is equal to object calls imp df dot drop sale price comma axis is equal to 1. Okay, then we will not run the dummy code, we will run the label encoder. Okay, now combine df clean dot sale price not equal to test. House test df is equal to combine df clean square bracket combine df clean dot sale price double equals to test. Now we will drop the added variable house test df is equal to house test df dot drop sale price comma axis is equal to 1. Now let us check the data frames finally. Print house train df dot shape print house test df dot shape. We got our data back to the normal state. Now we will split our data. Split data into dependent variable y and independent variables x. Right. Y is equal to house train df dot sale price. X is equal to house train df dot drop. We have to drop two columns. One is the ID column, comma. The second one is sale price column, comma. Axis is equal to 1. Right. Similarly, house test df is equal to house test df dot drop single quote ID. The ID column is also there in house test. Otherwise, later when we try to predict, it will give you mismatch of column. So, whenever you are deleting a column from train data, immediately delete it from the test data also, so that we don't suffer from the mismatch of columns. All right. Now, what models will we do? What is the structure of the dependent variable here? Dependent variable is sale price. Dependent variable is sale price. So, what is the structure? What is the shape of your y? What is the shape of your y? Numerical, continuous, right? Numerical and continuous. So, y dot plot kind is equal to hist. We see the plot as positively skewed. Plot is skewed. Similarly, y dot plot kind is equal to box, comma, worked is equal to false. Outliers are there. Now, can outliers exist in house prices? Yes, it can exist, right? Some houses will have lot of features, their price will be very high. Some houses will be of low feature, they will be less. So outliers, there is a valid reason in house prices. So we will not try to what we call convert them into logarithm and all. We will keep them as it is. Okay. So our y is showing as numerical and continuous. We can now use multiple linear regression model. From sklearn dot linear underscore model, import linear regression. Reg is equal to linear regression. Reg model is equal to reg dot fit x comma y. Reg model dot score x comma y. You have 85.43. What is this 85.43? R square. R square. This is R square within the range, right? R square is within the range of 0.60 to 0.95. We got 85.43. Now, if you want to see the coefficients, reg model dot intercept. This is the intercept. Reg model, we need to print list zip x dot columns, comma, reg model dot coefficients. So we can see the coefficients of each variable. Just for our understanding, because there are 280 columns now, so we can see them very large, so we just don't need them. What we need is the prediction. What we need is the prediction. On what? Test data. On test data, we will get the prediction. We will copy those values into sample submission and upload into the Kaggle file to check our accuracy. Alright, so reg test predict is equal to reg model dot predict house test df. Reg test predict is equal to house test df. Reg test predict, these are the predicted values for the houses based on the algorithm. These are the predicted values for our test data set. Now, pd dot data frame reg test predict dot to underscore csv reg dot csv. It will write a csv file. You can copy paste the values we don't need it because we will come to know from the website, right? We will come to know from the website. Reg.csv, where did it save? I think it saved in the house prediction folder only. No. Where did it save? Where did it save, yaar? Shit. pd dot data frame reg test predict to underscore csv regress dot csv. It should save in my folder is house price prediction only. And why it is not showing in house price prediction? Now it is showing. So regress.csv, I opened it, and I will also open the sample submission file. This is my sample submission file. Copy from the second, Control Shift down arrow, Control C, paste them or overwrite. sale price, control V, control S, override the sale price, and then close everything, go to the competition site, submit prediction, upload the sample submission CSV, then make submission. So I got a score of 0.35590. You can see, right, in the above green, 0.35590. My position on leaderboard will be better because I have submitted. Your best entry is 0.13046. My best entry is 0.13406. It is 1327. So for 0.35, I think you will get rank somewhere around 4,000 or something like that, or 5,000. You will get a rank. Okay? Got it, all of you? Now, we have used manual imputation. Basically, what we have done till now is, we have used manual imputation, but there are algorithm based imputations which can be run. There are algorithm based imputations which can be run. Like in imputation only, you have simple imputer, you also have something called, see, simple imputer is a univariate feature imputation. Simple imputer is a univariate feature imputation methodology. That means it will take the single column only. It will not take into consideration the other column's impact on this column. Simple imputer is a univariate feature imputation method. It just goes with the column mean, median and most frequent. It does not take into consideration other columns' impact. Yeah.
You told me that KNN imputation.
Yeah, they are there. So we have these what you call in sklearn iterative imputer. We have something called iterative imputer, and then we also have something called KNN imputer. KNN imputer is also there. There is this KNN imputer, K nearest neighbors imputer is also there. So in KNN imputer, the K refers to the nearest rows. So in K nearest neighbors, we are imputing based on the nearest rows. If you say K is equal to 3, it will take the nearest rows, top 3, bottom 3 nearest rows, and impute the majority value into that place. Or it will impute the mean of that values into that place. So in KNN imputer, if you say K is equal to 3, it will take the 3 rows adjacent to that row where the missing value is occurring. Those 3 values on the top and 3 values of bottom will be taken. A majority voting will be done, and based on that majority voting, it will fill the missing value. That is the KNN imputation. Now, the problem with KNN imputation in Python is the data must be in numeric form. The data must be in numeric form. It will not impute the data which is in non-numeric form or categorical form in Python. But the same imputers which you see in R will do directly character or string imputations. Actually, these imputation algorithms were initially developed in R. Mice, Miss Forest, KNN imputer in R. They work on both numeric data and non-numeric data. You don't need to convert them. Whereas in Python, these imputers work only on numbers. If that means for object data, we need to label encode them. But if you want to label encode, there should not be a missing value. If you want to label encode, there should not be a missing value. Because if you try to label encode with missing values, it will simply say string to float found or something like that. So, like this, if see, our object calls data is here our object calls data dot head, I'll take 3, is what you call string data or object data. Now on this data, object calls LE is equal to object calls dot apply LE dot fit underscore. Oh, we have already filled the missing values here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just rerun this code once so that I can get the object calls with missing values. Dot head. So we have the missing values, nans. You can see nan, right? You can see the nans. So object calls LE is equal to object calls dot apply LE dot fit underscore transform. See, it generates a error. It says, see, got integer or string, uniformly strings or number. So label encoder will not run if you have object data with missing values. So that is the problem in here. So what we have to do is we need to convert the data. So here it is said, right? Subset the object data types into container, or that means into a data frame. Change np.nan into data type say none. We will change it to the missing value to word none. And then we will change the entire data into categorical data set. How will you change it into categorical data set? By running the label encoders. Then you replace back the value of encoded none to np.nan, and then you can run the KNN imputer. This is the problem. So you have to follow these steps for doing the missing value imputation.
If 3 represents none means we have to convert that 3 into none.
3 to np.nan,
Null value.
null value, and then run the imputers. There is a library called fancy impute. There you can do this process. Fancy impute is a library which is there in Python for very long, which can be used for this purpose, fancy impute. Similarly, if you are using an iterative imputer, this KNN imputer, for this also we need the data to be label encoded. See, if you look at the example, the missing values are based on what? Numbers only, right? There is no text here. So the KNN imputer will So we have to run KNN imputer also. The data has to be converted into numeric. The data has to be converted into numeric. Got it? So we need to first, the process of converting the data and then implementing an algorithm based imputation is a difficult task which requires multiple steps. Let me run the codes one more time so that my notebook doesn't give you any errors. Okay, so now let us go back to our data and then reshape our data. Okay, we will resplit our data. Resplit data into object calls and numeric calls. We will resplit the data into object calls, or this time we will call them as string calls. We call them as string calls so that there is no overlapping in name. So string calls is equal to combine df dot select underscore d types include is equal to object. Include is equal to object. Num calls is equal to combine df dot select underscore d types include is equal to np dot number. E missing, huh? Okay, so we have split our data into string calls and what we call num calls. Now, what was the first strategy suggested? First strategy suggested was replace the value with none. Replace the value with none. So, string calls is equal to string calls dot fill na with none. Fill na with none. Okay. So once we fill na with none, so we will label encode now. String calls le is equal to string calls dot apply le dot fit underscore transform. Oh, we got an error. Again, int string error is come, but we have filled it with none. Or we will do one thing, replace dot replace np dot nan. Is it nan or what? What we got in top? With oh, still it is giving us a problem. So converting them into label encodes is problem. le dot fit underscore transform string calls dot as type str. Yeah, we got it. So we have encoded them as string calls. Hmm. Hmm. No, that you have to check whether there is a what you call what do I say that forgot yeah. See, that depends on your data study whether how many zeros are there. If there are too many zeros and zero is a valid, then you go with zeros only, na? The reason for zero is also has to be checked. Then only we can do. So then what he suggested is, one second, let me just go back. Oh, now we have to convert the things to NAND. How do we do that? So how do we say which is none here? I think everything is 1. String calls dot basement condition dot value sorry. Oh, in basement it is going for 82. So we don't have proper order for these things. Okay, so we have to use this code for transforming the data. So let us try with this code where we are going, because label encode is encoding in different ways. Because when I check the label encoding, none is coming in some variables as 1, some variables as 2. So that is the problem. So let us see whether this code will work or not. So this would be string calls dummy is equal to string calls dot apply give an error. Okay, string calls dot as type string dot apply. Yeah, we got the running now. Let us see if we can do string calls dummy dot head. Okay, so string calls dummy is equal to string calls dummy dot apply imp underscore cat dot fit underscore transform string calls dummy. So we are iterating the, oh, it has created string calls dummy. Oh, it is an array. 3D dot data frame. So this is how we have run the iterative imputer, where this guy has said so here we can use multiple types of imputers. Data frame dot apply lambda series pd dot series label encode not null. It is saying label encode not null, index is equal to series not null. So all the not nulls will be encoded, and then it will be, we can run the KNN imputer also, sklearn.impute. Okay. So let us run this process one more time. Let me just run it. Okay, string calls we have separated. See, the problem with label encoder is if it is finding integer and string type objects, so it is not able to encode. So for that purpose, we have a code given here, wherein this code will do, what this basically will do is, string calls is equal to string calls dot apply, oh sorry, before that apply you have to add dot as type str, as type str lambda series pd dot series label encode dot fit underscore transform. It is saying not null, whatever is not null, transform them and then index them with the original series. That is what it is doing. String calls is equal to string calls dot apply dot as type string. First convert it to string, because we are getting the same error, string and integer. We will convert all the values to string, then we will apply the series function to convert the data frame to series and then fit the label encoder. And the label encoder will be fit only on not null. Label encoder will be fit on not null. Now we have the not null part of the label encoder. Now we can go and impute using our KNN imputer. From sklearn.impute, impute KNN imputer, KN nearest neighbors algorithm. Now once you have this KNN imputer, imputer is equal to KNN imputer in brackets n underscore neighbors is equal to 5. I am asking it to take the 5 nearest neighbors. Okay, then we will apply it on our data frame. String calls imp string calls imp is equal to imputer dot fit underscore transform string calls. We have imputed the string calls with the here. So string calls dot head. So now we have imputed all the cells, or we can check it also. Is null dot sum dot sort underscore values ascending is equal to false. So there are no missing values in our data. We have imputed our data using the KNN imputer. Using the KNN imputers, we have imputed the data. Similarly, for numeric calls. So for numeric calls also, we can do that. Num calls, we can impute with the num calls imp is equal to imputer dot fit underscore transform num calls. So we have imputed the missing values in num calls also. To further check, num calls dot is null dot sum dot sort underscore values ascending is equal to false. Oh, sorry, num calls imp, right? I forgot to give the right name. Okay, td dot data frame. Okay, so we have imputed using this. This is the process for imputing with KNN imputer. So for KNN imputer, you have to convert the data into what we call numbers, then only we can impute. So you can take the command and implement it, KNN imputer. किसमें? हाँ, nearest neighbor. So it will calculate the nearest neighbor. KNN algorithm uses Euclidean distance. Suppose it will calculate the distance from the missing value to the nearest neighbors. Whatever is the nearest neighbor, that will be assigned. 5 nearest neighbors it will take. It will take consider only 5 nearest neighbors. No, I will tell you once. Yes, please. One second. See, sir, you can say that you have this type of data, 2 sets of data. You have 2 sets of data, right? You are classifying in new data. whether this should be classified as triangle or circle. If k is equal to 3, k nearest neighbors is equal to 3. What are the 3 nearest neighbors? This one, and this one. Based on the Euclidean distance. You know, right? Euclidean distance. What is the formula of Euclidean distance? Square root of y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. Euclidean distance. So majority is what? Circles. So this object will be classified as circle. Okay? And if it is, the nearest is this, right? This is the nearest point. Sorry, this will be classified as triangle. No. This is what classification problem. Majority voting. Majority voting is 0. Because there are 2 circles and 1 triangle in here, it will be classified as 0. Now if you take k is equal to 5. 5 means we can take these 3 and these 2. Right? This is k is equal to 5. Now what is the classification? Triangle, because triangle is majority, right? Triangle is majority, it will take the, so using the distance it will identify the closest 5 neighbors and it will take the majority of the neighbors. If it is a regression problem, it will take the average. It will take the average. So for classification, it is always majority voting. Across machine learning and deep learning and AI, it is always majority voting. For regression, it is always average. So 3 neighbors and 2 this. So finally majority is triangle. These 5 are the closest to this point. You can calculate the distance between this and this using the Euclidean distance, and these 5 points are selected based on the Euclidean distance calculation. Based on the Euclidean distance. We will study this algorithm. KNN algorithm, we will do the manual calculation also when the time comes. K nearest neighbors, everything will be manually shown in the calculation.
Infinite values
Non-infinite value. So go, which one you are talking about? Is it house test or test? Check the name what you have given.
house test, the last clean చేసిన తర్వాత టెస్ట్ అని చేయండి.
టెస్ట్ అండ్ సీరీస్ అయితే చెక్ చేయండి. ఆ ఒరిజినల్ డేటాలో ఎక్కడ కరప్షన్ అయింది. టెస్ట్ డెఫినేషన్ ఎక్కడ వచ్చిందో గో బ్యాక్ అండ్ డీబగ్ ఫర్ 2 minutes చేయండి, నేను వస్తాను. ఐ విల్ హెల్ప్ యూ అవుట్. So see here, num calls we have imputed them. Now we can do the same process because all of them are in coded only. So df is equal to pd dot concat num calls imp comma string calls imp comma axis is equal to 1. Oh, what happened? Oh, okay. One is array and the other is data frame. No problem. pd dot data frame num calls imp comma pd dot data frame string calls imp comma axis is equal to 1, right? Now df train is equal to df square bracket df dot sale price. Oh, again we made a mistake. Sale price is going into string calls, right? no attribute sale price. So before we run the string calls, we have to make some minor adjustments here. Once you have split it, we will take out the sale price here only. Num calls square bracket single quote sale price is equal to string calls dot sale price. Okay. Float to test is creating problem, so we have to drop it from num calls also. Y is equal to num calls dot sale price. So let us do this. Num call sale price, y is equal to sale price, then we did the string encoding. We didn't drop it from num calls, huh? So num calls is equal to num calls dot drop sale price comma axis is equal to 1. So let me just run this 191, 192, run this. String calls, KNN imputer, impute, string calls, num calls, pd dot concat, and we will also add comma y. Oh, okay, no problem. So df square bracket single quote sale price is equal to y. Cannot index a duplicate index. Let us say pd dot data frame of y. Why it is not taking here? Why you have the prices only? df is equal to pd dot concat df comma okay, we got the sale price back. df train is equal to df square bracket df dot sale price not equal to test. df test is equal to df square bracket df dot sale price double equals to test. y underscore train is equal to df train dot sale price. X underscore train is equal to df train dot drop single quote sale price, sorry, ID and sale price is not found in the accessor. Okay, column names are missing. Okay, if you are done, you can leave, no problem. I'll send you the notebook. Okay, so we got the data in a proper shape. సిక్స్ ఏంటి మరి ర్యాంక్ వస్తుంది కదా, జంప్ టు లీడర్ పొజిషన్. You have submitted as log, okay.
అంటే ఇది సార్ 4/1 2 అంటే కలర్ లెక్క